Hey, hello everyone and welcome back to our Angular new lecture. In this we are going to see how to create an Angular project and what are the folder structure it contained, and I'm going to explain each and every file and the folder in the Angular project. So let's understand what we required when we create an Angular project. So for that, first of all, you need to install npm and node in your system. So you can download and check the node version like this. So for here you can see I have node version 23.11, and in the same manner you have to install npm, and you can check the version by doing npm -v. So it's like 10.9.2, and also you have to install Angular CLI. So all this command you can get through the Angular official website. So I'm not going to show you or execute how to install these steps, but you can get it from the official website. So you can see I have in my system I have Angular CLI of version 19.2.6. so these three packages you have to install before working with an Angular project. So now we are going to see so basically now we are going to create an Angular project. So for that you have to, so there are multiple ways to create an Angular project, but I am going to use an Angular CLI, and by using a command line we are going to create an Angular project. So for that you can use command like ng new, and then you have to provide the name of your project. Let's say for me I am providing xadmin dashboard, and then you have to hit enter. So some of the certain selections you have to do. So it says that you want your project with CSS or SASS or LESS. Okay, so as per your requirement you can select by moving the arrow key in your keyboard down and up. So in my project I will keep it as CSS. So you can hit enter, and again it will ask another question, that do you want to enable server side rendering SSR or static site generation. So it depends on your requirement, right? So but I will put it it is yes here. And again you want routing implementation in your project or not. So it totally depend on your requirement, but generally in the production based application we refer the routing. So for that you have to do yes. So what it will do, it will install all these in your application, and then it will create an Angular project for you. So here you can see that all these commands run create all these files and all it got created. Okay, and then you can see it is installing packages npm. Okay, so like this you can create an Angular project, and now it is successfully, it has created all the Angular project, and it also created all these files. Okay, and so now I want to, so here I'm going to use the Visual Studio Code, and now I'm going to import the project which I have just created using a command line. So for that you have to open your any IDE. Here I'm using Visual Studio Code, and then you have to simply route to wherever you have saved your project. Okay, so just simply go, so this is the xadmin dashboard application which has been created. Now just select it and open it, and by this way I have imported this project here in Visual Studio Code. So now we are going to see what are the folders and what are the files present in this particular application. So you can see you have a source folder. So basically source folder is nothing but it is the main folder where actual application code exists, and inside source you have an app. So app content all app components, and also it content like service layer and the other logic files. So as it is a very initial stage in your application, so these are the very basic files or component which are get created when you have created Angular project through the command line, right? So in app folder it contained app component.css. So this app component.css is used for the writing css and all, style and all, right? Here you can provide the classes and all, and this is simply an html file. You can see app component.html. In this they have provided provided some html file. We will so we will see how it looks, okay, when we will start our application. And then we have a spec.ts. so spec.ts is used for basically testing purpose. And then we have again component.ts. so this is the main ts file which contains the logic, okay. And then in the similar manner we have a app.route.ts. so if you remember, when we are installing the application, or when we are creating the application, you might have observed that we have they ask for that whether I want routing or not, right? So there I have written yes. So where I selected yes, that's why it installed some routing like files. So this is app route.ts file. In this we have a route array. Yeah, all these things we are going to understand later, but I'm just showing that what are the files it comes when we create an Angular application, so that you will get a better idea about Angular application when you just create it, okay. And this is app route server.ts file. so in this you can use as for server routes, okay. And this path is star star, so this is considered as a wildcard path, right? And then we have app config.ts, in which we provide the configurations of your component. And then we have a index.html. so basically index.html is a very kind of I mean the entry point of the web application. So it's main HTML file that Angular inject into the DOM, okay. It includes the app route. Here you can see this include app route, and this app route tag itself call this app component. So this tag will be replaced by app component, and here app.html will get called and this will get rendered, okay. So yeah, this is a pretty much about index.html. Next we are going to see the main.ts file. so this main.ts file is again the entry point of your Angular application. It bootstrap the root module, usually the app module, and starts the application. So here you can see that we have a bootstrap application, right? So this is bootstrapping the application, and here you can see app component. So it means, so if you click this, it will go to this ts file, right? It means it will load this component, okay. So main.ts file will run, it will bootstrap your application, and then it will see that which component it has to load. So here if you want to customize for a different component to load, then you can mention that name of that component here. So it will simply load that component at the time of bootstrap, but by default it will consider as an app store, sorry, the app component, and app component is this, right? Next is next is like server.ts file. So server.ts file is nothing but it contains all the related information about the servers and all, okay. While using in the production, this will be helpful, okay. Now we have style.css. so this is a very like generic file where you can put all the style related stuffs, okay. You can design your application by if any global style you want to put in your application, okay. But this so one point you have to keep in mind that this can be overridden by component specific style. Let's say that you have you want to override the style content in this to a specific component, then simply you can add the style in that component, then these styles will get overridden in that particular component, okay. So yeah, this is all about your style.css. and next we have package.json file, right? So this package.json file contains all the information about the dependencies. This file contains the metadata about the project, such as the project name, version, dependencies, scripts, etc. It manages dependencies like Angular core and other libraries used in your project. So it provides the metadata about all the dependencies or all the packages you are going to use in your project. Let's say that you want to use any custom packages in your Angular application, then you have to install it, right? So all those information will get captured here, and the version will be provided for that particular package. For example, I will tell you that Angular core is using 19.2.0 version. Okay, if in future, if the Angular version get updated with 20, then again this file will get impacted and it will be updated with the newer versions. Okay, so basically from here it pick that which version it has to use for all these. Okay, so these are the dependencies basically, and with the versions it has provided. So package.json is a very important file where you can see that which version has been used, and you see these are the some commands, scripts are written inside here. So for start we use ngserve, for build we use ngbuild. Okay, for testing purpose you can use ngtest and all like this. And this is readme.md file, so it contains basically you can provide all the information about your project or what steps someone has to follow. If someone wants to use your application, then you can provide the information about the project in this readme file. And the next is tsconfig.json. you can see tsconfig.json. so this is kind of a JSON file. In this, a TypeScript configuration file. So it defines how TypeScript should compile the project, including compiler options like module type, target ES versions and path. So it tells how the application will get compiled, which modules it will include it, okay, what will be the ES version and all. So all these informations are provided in tsconfig.file. And then we have you can see we have another file. Yeah, so this is like tsconfig.spec.json. this is used for again for like testing purpose, and here they use like Jasmine, okay, and the karma for the testing purposes, right? Yeah, I hope I have provided pretty much information about all the files present here. And the next you can see ng module. Okay, so again ng module is a file which content like ng module content all the dependencies which are there in your like project. So this is your node module, right? So let me see what I can explain next. So this is about source. Okay, now we have or what I can explain you. Yeah, so this is all about the project structure and all. So basically in Angular, few points is very important, that certain components are Angular like components, modules, services and routing. So these are the key point in your Angular project. So components are the fundamental building blocks of Angular application. They manage views and business logic. So like here you can see in the source, in the app, we have by default an app component. Like this, when you will build your application, you can create more components, so that will come under app. Okay, so component is a fundamental building block. And we also have the modules. So modules is a group of related components, services and other logic. So app module is a root module. So here you can see app module.ts. so this is the root module basically. Okay, and again we have a services. So services are a business logic, a common business logic. Let's say that you want to provide some common business logic for all your component, then you can put it inside a service layer. So you can create a service class or a service component. Inside that you can create a different services classes, and then you can provide a common business logic which will be get shared among all the component in your Angular application. And again one more like very important module is routing. Okay, as you have seen here, app route.ts file. In this array we provide path and the component path. basically, by which it will get loaded. So route defines an app routing module, and it loads as per the path given. Okay, so this is all about a pretty much in a brief idea about your Angular application. Now let's see. Okay, so what are the steps we have to do to start your application? Okay, so when you import, then first of all you have to do npm install. Okay, so npm install command is to install all the dependencies what are mentioned in package.json file. Okay, so this will install all the, yeah, so already you can see I have installed this package. So it says 156 packages are looking and it is installed, right? So when you will hit it in a first time, then it will download all the dependencies from your internet. So internet connectivity is very important here. So it depends on your internet speed and all, that how much time it will take to install all the dependencies. So maybe if your this package .json file is big, then it may take more time. So totally depend on the content of it and how much internet speed you have. Okay, so you have to do npm install. So this will create a node module in your project, and like this it will import or download all the dependencies in your application, and these dependencies will be used in your local project to run this Angular application, right? So now the next step is to how to bootstrap your application, or how to build your application, or how to start your application. For that you have to simply write ngserve. Okay, and so when you write ngserve, it will build your application, it will check all the errors, and then it will start your application. So by default it will start with 4. So here you can see it started with localhost 4200. So when you hit it, then you will see this pretty much screen. Okay, so this is running in my local port number 4200. Okay, so now you will be wondering that from where we got this data. Okay, so this data is present actually in app component.html. Okay, here. So this is the by default Angular has provided this data, added this data here. Okay, so when you build your application, then of course you can remove all this data and you can add your own content in it, or your application work in it, right? So let me show you from where this pretty yeah, you can see here, hello, title, and congratulations, your app is running. So let me put it yeah, so you can see it here. Okay, hello xadmin, your app is running. Now I want to put something here. Let's say after running I want to put again thank you, something like this, and simply you have to save it. So when you save it, then application will rebuild it, and it will bundle this application, and it will like it will render all this content in your browser. You can see, simply saving the file, it will render it automatically, and you can see thank you has been added. Okay, so like this you can start your work in Angular project. Yeah, so this is a very basic knowledge about how to create an Angular project, and what are the files and the folders present, so that this will give you a pretty much idea about the folder structure and the other files information. Yeah, so thank you. So we will see like more about the Angular project in our next lecture.